I was telling them is that what we talk about on Wealth Wednesdays is how to build our wealth, but specifically, we talk about credit and not just building credit, but that we have to also battle our credit because we have a lot of people out here just trying to get stuff off their credit, but had not considered what can I do to add points on to my credit, because removing that stuff doesn't automatically just boost your credit up as far as I know. But what I told them is, you know way more about credit than I do. So if you are situated, I want you to go ahead and give the audience a quick introduction and let them know who you are and what it is that you do.
Absolutely. Thank you all for being patient. And thank you, Mimi the Motivator, for inviting me to this wonderful new platform. I love change. Don't you just love change? And I love technology even more so. But anyway, everybody, my name is Kimberly Connor. I am the owner of Kim's Credit Leverage, where I teach you how to leverage what you have in order to get what you want. We are both here in Colorado Springs, Colorado, where my main goal is just to empower our people about financial literacy. Because one
Yes.
thing that I've learned since I've been in this business is that our people perish from lack of knowledge, but not
That's
on my watch.
right. That's
So what
right.
I'm doing is I am doing a lot of research and getting things together. I partnered up with an amazing company by the name of Nove, which is a black owned and operated company that actually means new beginning. So I've been with this company for 2 years, and within that 2 years, I've been able to leave my job. I've been able to be at home with my daughter. I am a single parent. So I've been able to parent and run my company from home. So I'm super excited about that. So my main goal for the next 3 months, and I do break up my goals in increments, in quarters. So for the next 3 months, I want to work with single mothers. I want to work with single mothers to help them obtain an extra stream of income. I want to work with single mothers to empower them with financial literacy and understand credit. One more thing I might add, Mimi, is what I do understand about credit is that a lot of people think that it's free money, and it's not. It
It's
can
not.
get you in trouble. It's not free money, guys. It's something that you want to leverage in order to build wealth, in order to build power, in order to build a structure, a foundational structure to use other people's money, if you will.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. Um, Credit is can be a tool or it can be a weapon is what it sounds like, and almost like a weapon against yourself if you don't use it properly, almost like a gun, like a loaded gun. If you don't really know how to use a loaded gun properly, you take a chance of hurting somebody, and really that somebody can be you. And I feel like credit is similar to that. If you don't understand credit, how credit works, how to build the credit, how to battle the credit, you're working with a loaded gun and don't know what to do, even once you build that credit up. Because I think I see a lot of times in our community, yeah, we got the good credit score, but we use that credit score to go get a big screen TV or to refurnish our house. What should we be using our credit for?
You should actually be using your credit score. It's like a report card.
Hmm.
What when you're in school and you're building that perfect A, you're using that perfect A to get into the higher echelons of college. Okay, so what you're doing is you're using that credit score. It's your adult report card. So you're using that credit score to prove your credit worthiness so that you can go in and possibly purchase more than one home, possibly purchase more than one car, and then leverage those as rentals so that you can build wealth off of that.
Mm, I like that. I like that. What have you seen as the biggest challenge in someone building credit? Say if somebody is working with a, I don't know, can you have less than 500? So
Oh,
let's
yeah.
say, okay, so let's say a less than 500 score, which to me is like zero. We're working with nothing. So we're working ground zero. Where do we begin?
So where you want to begin, and if you're working with ground zero and you don't have anything on your credit, that is actually a pretty good thing. So therefore, we don't have to go in and dispute any negative items on your credit history. So now all
Mm.
we have to do is build, guys, and we do have credit building resources that'll get you where you need to be. One story, for instance, is my son. The only thing he had when he was 20 years old was an old T-Mobile bill on his credit history, but it was only reporting to TransUnion. It wasn't reporting to Equifax and Experian. So I
Mm.
got him to get a credit building resources by the name of Self Lender, guys. That's a free credit tip. It's a savings account loan where you put in anywhere from $25 to $250. So you're saving that money and you're building your credit because it reports to all three credit bureaus at the same time. So I was able to build his credit score over 568 points in a matter of 45 days.
Okay, that sounds good. That's real good. Sis, do me a favor. Can you shift your body over a little bit so we can get you in the middle of the picture? Yes, perfect. So we can see that full, beautiful face and that hair. All right. Um, so definitely, as she mentioned, you heard her mention the company Nove. We both are representatives and partners with this company. So if you are interested in how you can either build or battle your credit or both, please contact us. So something that really stuck out to me in our conversation last Thursday with the Thursday Night Cream. So just in case you didn't know, every Thursday, Miss Kim Connor and Credit Cal, they go live on Facebook with Thursday Night Cream. Credit rules everything around me. But what was mentioned in conversation is how our credit is a reflection of our character.
Mm.
And I know a lot of people are like, nuh-uh, because my credit is bad and I'm not a bad person. What that means to me is that it's time for you to start taking steps to make sure that your credit does properly reflect your character. Because no matter where you go, people are running your credit. You go apply for a job, they run your credit because they're trying to see what type of person are you? What type of decisions do you make? How do you handle resources? Even for a life insurance policy, they're running your credit because they want to know how risky are you. So if your credit does not reflect your character, it's time to get started. Right, Miss
Yes.
Kim?
Absolutely. And it's never too late to get started, guys. And I know a lot of people are afraid of credit. They're afraid to use credit, and it's only because they're afraid of the unknown. They don't know how to use it. I'm afraid of calculus. I'm not, a mathematician. So, but until you get in there and actually start doing the work, you'll feel comfortable with it. So don't be afraid of the fear of the unknown. So let's get it together and let's grow.
Yes, I love that. Let's get it together and let's grow. Yeah, because it's time. The time is here and the time is now. I don't think making money is no longer the challenge that it used to be in the past for either people of color, for women, for anyone. Making money is not hard. Now, being the person to get up out of the bed and go do the thing that generates the income, now that's a different story. But there are so many ways out there to generate income these days that even if you were to say, well, I can't afford to work on my credit. Well, then that sounds like to me, get a part-time job and work a couple of hours extra a week, or to start a part-time hustle, or to resell something that's sitting in your house collecting dust that has value that you're never going to use. But we have to start thinking with tactics and start doing what we need to do in the here, in the now, to start putting ourselves in position. I mean, when do you think you're going to start if you don't start now?
Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. Either you're going to have the time or you're going to have the money. You don't have to pay to get your credit repaired. We even have a credit repair kit that's only like $50. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you get all the documents and stuff like that. Of course, you won't get the customer support that's needed to guide you through it. But if you're a fast learner, if you're a self learner, self starter, by all means, take advantage of that. But please take advantage for somewhere. Get started now. Because
Yes.
there was a time when there were three different categories: the upper class, middle class, and the lower class. There is no longer a middle class, you guys. The middle class has to really make a decision now. You're either going to be poor or you're going to be rich. So you
Hmm.
make the decision.
Right, right. And even those of us who aren't in middle class, we have to make that same decision she just said. Are you going to be poor or are you going to be rich? And really, what it boils down to is your mindset and your relationship with money. Like I said, we're having a master class this Saturday, not this Saturday, but May 29th, Saturday, May 29th, where we're going to talk about how you can heal your money wounds, because a lot of us aren't aware of where our money is going or why we're spending it the way we're spending it. Why aren't we getting ahead? We're making more money, but we're still in the same place. What's going on? You know, that's where it comes into mindset. In all of my research, because I've spent the last 15 years of my life trying to figure out what is the difference between the have and the have-nots, it was the mindset. It's not the money, because we get the money. Whether we got the money because we got a good job for a little while. We got the money because somebody blessed us with some money. We got the money because we were in a car accident and got a settlement. It doesn't matter. Somehow or another, we've all had money. Maybe we used to sell drugs or whatever, but we had money, and we know that there's been a time where we were just and have nothing to show for it. Those kind of times are over. Mm-hmm. We have to be more mindful of how we invest our money, because whatever it is that we're spending it on is what we're investing it in. So are you investing your money into the convenience store? Are you at the 7-Eleven all the time? No shame on 7-Eleven. I love them, and I love their ice cream too. But what is it where are you really letting your money go where you're not getting a return from it?
Right.
You know, and I think investing in repairing your credit or building your credit, there's no better investment than that.
There isn't. There really isn't. And a quick story about me. I just bought 2 cars this week, pulled off the lot, cars, with my credit score. There was a time when I'd be like, well, I don't want any extra cars. I can go and get a third one if I want to, because I still got approval for those. But I was afraid, like, oh, no, I'm going to just stay down here because I know I can't afford these. But we're getting ready to put those on a car rental site. So therefore, my cars are not liabilities anymore. They're going to be, they're assets. So if we just take into consideration that everything you do does not have to be a liability, it can actually be an asset. That's where you're going to make your return of investments, whatever it may be. Now, getting the stimulus checks and flying to Vegas saying, hey, I'm in Vegas, baby. You don't have a car, you don't have a home, and your children are at home while you doing it up in Vegas. That's selfish. And I'm just going to call it for what it is. But I see it a lot with my family. And I kind of want to not be their friends on Facebook no more, because it's disgusting to me.
I feel you.
Like, girl, get it together.
Oh my gosh. The thing that drives me nuts is to see my people going out to eat every day. And, you know, and they taking pictures of it, you know, they posted it on Instagram, and, you know, we at the bar, and I'm thinking, man, do you know what I could have done with that same money you just, to me, wasted? You know, right. Because if you go to a restaurant, there's no way that you're spending probably less than $10 for a meal, and probably more unless you're going to like a fast food spot. I have taught classes for a program here in Colorado Springs called Cooking Matters, which exists across the country. I taught families how to cook a meal for a family of 4 for $10 or less. So feeding 4 people for $10, that's being master of your money. You know, a lot of people are too proud to go out there and pick up a box of food from a pantry, which I don't see what's the big deal. This food is going to go to waste. It's going to go to the trash can. So you're telling me you'd rather this food go in the trash can than go in your refrigerator and save you money? I know at one time I saved about $400 a month in grocery bills because I was teaching classes at this building, and they had free groceries once a week or something like that. And the lady in my class was sitting, she was a board member, and she kept saying, y'all need to come in and get these groceries. And I'm like, I don't know, you know, as most people are with an ego, you know, and some people were completely dead set against it. Like, oh, I don't need that. And she kept saying, this isn't about a need. The only need here is that we have food that needs to be eaten. Can you come and get it, and can you eat it? And I was like, wow. When she put it like that, that changed the game. So I swallowed my pride, and I went and got a box. I got so many different types of greens. I got onions. I had apples. I had lemons. I had so much stuff. I had some stuff that I had never even seen before. I learned how to cook new foods. I was exposed to new vegetables. I was exposed to new types of salad. It just really expanded everything. And that's what happens when you open yourself up to the wealth mindset versus clenching hold to the broke mindset that likes to just look wealthy.
Right.
You know,
Yep. Yep.
I
That
don't
is
know.
so true, Mimi. And but you know, we're gonna get through this, you know, because everybody that we're coming in contact with, we are definitely they definitely gonna be hearing about it. They're gonna be hearing
Yes.
about credit. They're gonna hear about leveraging. I don't care if you gotta leverage the government. I had to leverage the government for
Mm-hmm.
years,
Yep.
being on Section 8 and food stamps. You know, when I was pregnant, I was on welfare. I was a pregnant mother, single. So, you know, just leverage these things, but don't get stuck there. It's okay to use
Oh,
them, but leverage them to make a difference in your life. You
right.
know, just leverage it, use it
Yes.
to your
Leverage it.
ability. Mm-hmm.
Leverage. That's a key word because instead of just taking advantage of the fact that you have Section 8 and you only got to pay $25 a month or $50 a month, so you use your money to go do crab boils and all that kind of stuff, that's not leveraging. That's not what she's saying. What she's saying is take advantage of that opportunity so you can be stacking up your paper and go out and do what? Because where do you live now, Miss Kim?
I have my own home here in Colorado Springs. This is my, I'm preparing it. I want to do a little podcast that says living in my rehab because I am
Yeah.
rehabbing this home to be my rental property so I can move on to my second home. Hopefully
See?
by, well, not hopefully, but by next year, I will be moving into my second home.
All right. I say call it, say it, claim it, and name it.
Amen.
Yes.
And mind you, I did go from Section 8 to homeownership, making $12 an hour. But I did have to carve back on my spending habits. I did have to enhance my personal and self development. I felt I wasn't worthy enough. My mother was on Section 8, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So she was actually passing on that generational curse down to me. I didn't know any better until I surrounded myself around people like Mimi, around people like Mr. McCambry, who created Nove, my mentor Hazik Ali. So if you cannot change your friends or your situations, how about changing your friends and your situation? It's a
Come on.
pivot. And that's one thing
Yes.
I hear from Mimi all the time is about a pivotal moment. So you got to be aware of these mind shifts and these changes and pivot and go where you want to go, but you don't have to stay where you're at.
All right. I say preach it, preach it. Yes, I love it. I love it. We really want to thank you all for joining us. And if you have questions, make sure that you drop them in the chat box in the comments. So even if you are watching a replay, we will get back with you and we will get you an answer. So whether we answer you there or we answer you live on next week's live broadcast, be sure to ask your questions, whatever they may be, regarding credit, regarding wealth, regarding finances. This is what we're here for. And definitely, again, join us for Black Coffee Talk every Thursday morning, 7:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It is free to join the conversation. It is an intimate conversation where we kind of just like let it all out. We have differencing of opinions, but there is a lot of information to be gained. So grab your coffee. You can keep on your robe. We don't even have to look at your face. Just join us and join the conversation. See what you can get from the conversation and see what you can add to it as well. So, Miss Kim, do you have any invites, announcements, or something you can offer these people?
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought that up. We did mention last week that we were going to tell the people that have businesses. We are surrounded by a lot of business owners here. If you guys have a 620 credit score, we do have business credit funding. We have business funding for startup businesses. So whereas before we were going and basing your application on verifiable income, but graciously, Mr. McCambry rolled out with a new program. We partnered up with some new lenders that if you have a 620 credit score and quote unquote stated income of 30K annually, we can get you approved. So there is a $49 application fee, but just imagine your return of investment. So what I want to do is I want to extend that olive branch for you to go ahead and get this startup money for your business.
That's right. So get it. If you are interested in finding out more information about that, I want to invite you to join us tomorrow. And hopefully, I'm going to get Miss Kim to hang out after the call so she can give us more information and we can ask her some questions in regards to that program, because that is a wonderful opportunity. All you need is a 620 credit score and a stated income of more than $30,000. Come on, let's get this funding. Let's get these business rolled out the right way. You don't have to bootstrap. You don't have to struggle. You can go out here and get this funding and leverage it the right way, so that way that money will pay for itself, okay? Because we're not trying to pay no money back. We're trying to make our money make money and make our money pay itself back, okay?
Absolutely. We want our businesses to work for us. We don't want to work for our
I know
businesses.
that's right. Yes, yes. So we want to thank you again for tuning in. So tune in again with us next week. Tune in to Miss Kim's Thursday Night Cream with Credit Cow. So that will be tomorrow. Check her out. Follow her on Facebook. Find her Kim's Credit Leverage. She's out there and she is waiting to answer your questions and to talk to you and to inform and educate and empower you. So make sure that you reach out to her. Follow her wherever she is out there in social media world. And definitely make sure you tune into the Get High on Motivation show. Today's episode was about dealing with rejection and how rejection breeds obsession. Because it happens. It happens to us all. So we talk about it and how we can move on from it. So tune in every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I'm here for you, as you see. And I'll be back next week. Thank you again.